All right, in this video, I'm going to walk through on how you can configure your entire Ligna system in a matter of minutes. So we have this wizard account set up. We call it kits that you can leverage to get your entire system set up for you. Traditionally, when you logged in, we do have courses. So when you come over here under support and click on courses, we do have step-by-step courses from everything from system branding to user setup to your CRM configuration. And each of these videos go in order as far as how you want to set up your system. However, if this is first time coming in, there's just so much this platform does, and you can easily get lost. And there's a lot of unique logic behind, the Ligna platform. And it takes a minute to figure out why we did it that way. Once you figure it out, you love it, but it just takes a minute to kind of figure all that out. And so coming from a new system, that prevents you, from getting onboarded right away. And in addition to that, it takes some time to, learn everything about it. And so you don't leverage some of the cool stuff back here right away without being set up, out of the gate. So we created our kits, and you can access these kits by coming over here to the wand icon to the left of your name here. Once you log in, click that wand icon, and the very first step is your profile. Now in your profile, you do have, more settings for your profile, and you can go out there by clicking on this button here, but this is the most important ones for your setup. It's gonna be your time zone, your first name and last name, and also uploading your profile photo here. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload a photo real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next step. So on branding, this is gonna brand your backend. So if you're an existing customer and you're watching this video for the first time and you've already started branding your platform, you're already set up, you'll notice these are already filled out for you. Don't remove them. I suggest if you want to use this new account setup, create a parent account and test it out because it will change your settings, as you progress through this that you've already set up. So if you're already an existing customer and you brand the back end, I wouldn't mess with these settings if you're happy with what you have. So company name, you're able to, again, this is all the way down to the branding of the system for white label. So just go ahead and put your company name in here. I'm going to do this for a sample company, so contractors. And then your portal color, you can pick whatever color you want here, or you can obviously just drop in your color code, which I have one over here to do. And I'm gonna do this one over here as well. Okay. So there's a branding color. So you can override, as I mentioned, you can on this profile, same with branding settings. There's a lot of other branding settings that come with this. And at the end of this setup, you're going to get a report card with a link to go to every single section within the platform. So just progress through the wizard and we'll let you know where all this stuff lives when it's over. I'm going to go ahead and grab my logo. Workspaces. So workspaces are designed to organize your company assets in a way to where it's not cluttered. So a good example, you're a real estate agent, you may do commercial leasing, you may do buyers and sellers, you may do property management. And when you start building out funnels and websites and our near me technology and email templates and lead statuses and pipeline statuses and all that stuff, it can get real cluttered with all of that in the same system. So workspaces are a way to separate all those. So when you're inside that workspace, you're only seeing the phone numbers and the activity and everything that you're doing inside that workspace. Another usage behind workspace is you have sales people, marketing people, internal support reps, that you need to collaborate with assets that you've created or they've created. And so you can share that workspace with your internal team members. That way you can see all the leads that are inside your CRM together and you can work together on them, any asset, projects, tickets, those types of things. You don't have to use workspaces, but if you start looking at it and you want to use a workspace, this is where you put it in. Now, this is the initial setup of a workspace. Obviously, go through the videos on additional workspaces and all those stuff. So I'm going to set up a workspace for this example. Next, I'm going to grab my current live website. If you don't have a current live website, not a big deal, but we do use this in this setup. Basically, what we're doing is going out and pulling the text from your website to build a company profile that we're going to use to train an AI model to leverage some of these setup components as we progress. So super important to put that in. If you don't have a website, we're going to leverage your company overview section here. Industry, you can put in multiple industries. In this case, I'm just going to do home improvement. Industries are separated by commas, improvement, and type. And I'm going to grab my company overview real quick and throw this in there. By the way, this progresses as you go through it, so you can always close it out and come back, you know, if you get pulled away. So it will save your stuff as you progress. Target audience, I'm just going to do homeowners. And then ticket price, average, I'm going to do 5,000. Okay, so now I have my company profile to train my model. I'm going to go next to my domain. So this is your domain settings for the back end. Nothing that you're going to do on your domain is going to affect what you currently have existing. So we install SSL wildcard certificate so you can use subdomains freely throughout the system, whether it be for the back-end software where you will log in and your clients will log in, app or whatever, right? And so you have to put in your root domain to ensure that domain is set up properly for wildcard records. This will not affect your current setup. Do not put a subdomain in here. Make sure it's just your domain. Let me grab my domain real quick. No www, just this domain right here. Okay, so next I'm gonna hit add, and that's gonna give me my records. So these records are gonna go out, and depending on your host provider, it may not be called name, this may be called host. It's pretty straightforward if you look at your DNS records, but you know, it does get confusing, you know, as you kind of put these records on. So if you've never done it before, if you've done it, again, name could be host, value is pretty much the same, but you know, GoDaddy's name, GoDaddy's also value. And other providers just have different nomenclatures here. So this is your wildcard record. All this is doing is basically saying that any traffic that's not named in your DNS, because you may have subdomains in your DNS, this is saying if there's no, you know, a reference of whatever subdomain is pointing to your domain, it'll go over to us. So you just put the asterisk symbol with the IP address, and now you can freely use any subdomain that's not referenced on your DNS, and it'll point to us and pull up those assets. In addition to this is the Acme Challenge record. If you're using Cloudflare or some of these other ones that proxy your DNS records, make sure the proxy's off, so DNS only. Also, if you have a text record that's on there with Acme Challenge, you're going to need it's going to override this. So you need to make sure you only have one Acme Challenge on your DNS record. And then these are your email keys. So you're going to put this in and this one as well as the value, all three of these. Wait about a few minutes before you click Activate SSL. You can move to the next step and come back and click Activate SSL. But once you click this is going to go out and start running an SSL install for you and set up your SSL certificate for you. All right, so that's done. I'm going to go to next. So now I'm going to put my email in. I'm just going to put john@nextdoor.build, and I'm going to add that. So internal SMTPs, if you plan on using our internal SMTPs, you've already set the records here in the domain stage. So now you can use that domain freely with any email you send from our system. If you're using Office 365, you just click on that, connect to Office 365. And then if you're using Gmail, you would set the Gmail settings here. Now, one thing to know on Gmail, you're going to need to set an app password. Do not use your personal password here. So there's instructions on how to do that. You can just Google how to set up an app password for your email. And you're just going to use smtp.gmail.com host. All those instructions live everywhere on the internet, even on Google. But it's real simple to set up a password for your G Suite. Or if you're using any other type of SMTP relay, they're going to give you all this stuff. So you can use any relay that you want. In this case, I'm just going to use internal, and I'm just going to put John Aguilar here. Signature, this is your email signature that's attached to a lot of the stuff we set up. I'm just going to put my name and Nextdoor here. Oops. So we do use a tag. So if you don't have a signature, you don't put a signature in here, you can always do it later. However, everything we're going to set up for you is going to use a signature tag in the email templates that we write and all that good stuff. Okay, so I got my email set up. I'm going to go to next. Here's where you're going to pick your phone number for the VoIP system. Now, our system obviously comes with call forwarding and VoIP numbers and also IVR. This is just your VoIP line setup. This is where you can place phone calls in the browser or on a cell phone app. Depending on your country, these settings are different. First off, if you're in the US and you don't want toll-free and you want a local number, pretty straightforward. Some countries like Australia and the UK, you may want to select mobile to get the SMS side of it, but in a lot of those same cases, it's going to be local. So there's a couple little toggles. I would search local first. By the way, if you're in a different country, don't search with the zero, the leading zero. Always remove the leading zero when you search. Here in the US, don't have that problem. You're just going to search 512, click on find numbers. This is going to give you, a listing of 10 numbers that you can choose from. I do recommend going out and searching these numbers on Google and just see if they're indexed. With all these VoIP numbers out there moving from carrier to carrier, you may have a number in our inventory that was used from a previous provider that's indexed online. So you're going to want to check that out and just make sure it's not indexed online. If it's not, that gives you a better, more likely, if not every time when you make an outbound call, your hygiene, you don't see that spam risk right there. So certainly suggest you search out there and see if it's indexed. In this case, for this demo, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and click on activate line. So this is all set up. This is my VoIP line set up. It's ready to go. It's attached to this kit or attached to this setup. And now I'm going to choose a kit. So these kits, this is the first one. I have several other kits coming out, including the ability for you to build your own kit. What's unique about these kits is we're using all of this stuff that you've already set up to personalize these kits. That way you don't have to go into each asset from an imported whatever asset that you may be using from another system. This will already be configured for you. In addition to that, this kit is going to write all your email templates. It's going to build you a landing page and all this stuff and write all the content, set up all your meeting pages, everything in the platform. And the reason why we build that model is because we're leveraging AI to write all that content for you as well. So you just select your kit and then you hit generate. And this thing takes about a minute to set up. And what it's doing, again, it's going out and building that profile from the stuff that you put in. It's training a model, setting up all the email templates, all your lead statuses, your pipeline statuses, creating all your user roles and all the permissions that are needed. Of course, it's branding the entire backend for you. It's building you a landing page. It's setting up a data form so you can collect a scheduled consultation. That's going to redirect them to a meeting page where they can select a meeting time. It's going to go through all these things that will take you, if you're not an advanced user and you're not familiar with the system at all, it would take you several videos to kind of walk through the progression of this. This is literally doing it. I have all the demos I've done. It's taken no more than a minute and a half to get this thing finished. And like I said, it's creating about 75% of the platform. There's so much that this platform does, but you're able to really get this set up in a way to where the bulk of the platform is there for you. And then the report card that's created after it will give you that links to every asset that was created and just really shortens up your learning curve for that to get, set up. All right, so we're just gonna sit here and it's a little late for me today to pour some coffee, but yep, looks like it's just about finished here. There we go. All right, as you can see, if I close this real quick, it'll show you that it brand the system with my color scheme, put my logo in there, set up my workspace. You can actually come over here if you're inside your workspace and click on edit. And this will give you those roles that were just set up. So if you want to share your workspace with internal users, you can do that are associated with that role. Let me go back to the report card. Again, just a little summary of what you've already put in. This is your portal domain. You can change this in the branding section. Just click on that. It's going to take you out to your own backend. Now you can swap out these logos. There's different logos in the branding section. You change out one for the login, one for the backend. If you have a logo that goes on a light background like this, and obviously in the backend you have a darker one, so you may want to change that out. All your user roles. So if you want to change these names out or take a look at the permissions, just click on them. That'll take you right into the role section that shows you all the different permissions that are set for an admin type of user. And then again, we have one for clients and marketing and sales. You can change those names. This takes you out to your settings for each of these. For instance, if I hit on email, I can come back in here for my signature if I didn't do that on the onboarding. On the VoIP line, if you click on that, that's going to take you into the VoIP system so you can set up your voicemail, forward unanswered calls, set up a whisper if you want to know it's coming from you, or set up any kind of dropless voicemail recordings, as well as your VoIP credentials to use on your soft phones or any other apps out there other than our in-browser calling. As you go down, we also set up all your lead statuses. These are pipeline stages and lead statuses. Our pipelines are associated with our opportunities. But here, if you just click on this, this will take you out to those options. So you can quickly change these to what you want to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be what's obviously set up for you, but takes you right there, allows you to make those changes. Same thing with the opportunity pipelines. Just click on it, it'll take you out to the settings. We created two types of data forms. Data forms are how leads come into the system. They can come in through the API, they can come in through imported CSVs, they can come in through external lead gen forms that you put on your websites, or come from forms that you put on our own internal sites. We set you up two, one for just importing. This is the standard global fields. You can add as many fields as you like to this. In addition to this, these are your columns along your CSV file. So just name them what you have. In the leads view, you can import them, or you can just import your own CSV and create your own columns during the import process. But this at least helps you out and lets you understand the settings if you're going to build our global fields and kind of build out an import form. So this is there for you. In addition to that, we set up a scheduled consultation form. This is a form that's being used on the internal landing page that we built for you. Here's a bunch of settings, such as redirecting to the meeting page setting system. So if you want to leverage that for other projects, you can copy this and put this on your own external websites if you like. Let's go through email templates. So we set up just a sample flow. So they go to your landing page, they fill out the form to schedule a demo. It takes them to the page where they can actually book this time slot. The first email that's fired out, this email was written and put all the tags in there for you and subject line. So this is the one that goes out immediately. And then there's two more that goes out, one 24 hours before the meeting. Oh, this is the text message, sorry. Email template 24 hours before the meeting. This is going to have all your tags in it that you can use and at least see what tags you can use if you want to set up this type of workflow. SMS templates 1 hour as well, both of those. Sets up your meeting page. So if you click on the meeting page itself, this is what it looks like. You may want to switch out that logo for a darker one on a white background or use CSS. You'll notice there's no times available today during this time slot. However, the next day I have multiple time slots here. So this is the meeting page, and you have your link to go directly to all the settings to change that up. Change up your times, any type of information here that came in that you didn't quite like. And let's see, workflow. So the first workflow that's set up is when that lead fills out that scheduled consultation form, we're firing over an email immediately for that lead. The next is the calendar invite. So the calendar invite one, this one we're firing off a 24-hour email. So this is going out 24 hours before the meeting, and then a 1 hour. Same thing with the send SMS, change leads. We're actually changing the lead status to appointment scheduled. And then we're also creating a lead opportunity, with your estimated value of close, the meeting arranged, pipeline stage, and setting all this up for a close date of 14 days. So the great workflow, there's a lot of different options in here that you can use to, add to this or tweak it, obviously. What else we got here? So we also set up a sample project. So this sets up a project in the back end. It creates sample stages for your projects, and also creates some sample task here related to your business that you can click on and, just see how it's all set up and give you an idea of how the project management system works. In addition to that, we actually set you up with a website. So this is a landing or a funnel. So there's a landing page that was set up. This is what it looks like. We also provide the link straight to our builder. So if you want to change anything on that landing page, just get a feel for the builder, it takes you right to it. So you can come in here and just start making your changes, double click, however you want. And I have videos in here to show you how to work with this, but it's a lot easier when you have something up. For instance, I may want to change out my logo and things like that, but writes all the content, gets everything set up for you, does the branding for you. It also puts a domain on it. So you have your domain here. Now you can just come in here and you want to get your first lead in, get familiar with how that works. Oops. And let's do that. And we'll just say next door for now. go ahead and schedule consultation. This is going to take me out to my meeting page so I can make a time. And choose Thursday here. I'll just pick 11 a.m. and go ahead and click schedule now. This is doing is taking me to a little thank you message. You can actually configure this and actually send it to a thank you, another site that you want. You would just click on the schedule consultation meeting page setting link, and you can configure that message here, set up a confirmation link. We have videos back there to learn about all these settings here. So now let's take a look at what happened here, right? So I submitted that. I got a notification, so I can come over here to tasks. And this is going to show me that I just booked this meeting. I have a calendar view, list view, week view, day view, just to give you a kind of look at, different views as far as how those meetings come in. And then I can click directly into that lead. And this is going to show me, one, it created an appointment status change. So on that workflow, we're creating an appointment status. We're also firing off an email, as far as scheduling consultation initially. And then here in about a minute, it's going to fire off all the other workflows, which is creating an opportunity. If it's less than 24 hours, it'll send the 24-hour message. And then, of course, the one that's right up before the meeting itself. So I will wait here just for a minute for this to come through. But yeah, everything is set up. At least 75% of the system set up in a way to where you can just easily access what we've done, change it to personalize it to where you need it, and really learn the system a lot quicker. And the last thing that you're going to want to do is set up a tracking pixel. Now, if you obviously just came in the system, you haven't set up a website internally into our platform. So you would just take this pixel and you drop this into the head or above the close of the body of your current website. This will start bringing in all your stats into the dashboard. So it shows all your lead visits and everything else, just visits that come in. And then if you actually want to bring in data from data forms that are lead gen forms that weren't created in our system, that are not embedded, then you can just grab this right here and add this to your site as well. And that will pull in leads from your forms from your site. So you don't have to use our forms right out of the gate if you don't want to. So let me go back over to this lead real quick and kind of give you a quick rundown of the workflows that end up happening. So again, change the lead status to appointment scheduled, sent out the reminder email about tomorrow. It created a proposal and put it in the status for that specific proposal. And so if you go over here to your pipeline stages under leads, you click on opportunities, you'll see that pipeline meeting arranged, and you can move it down. Again, you can customize these and make these however you like. But yeah, so that, again, pretty straightforward as far as the setup. I hope you like it. This is obviously going to evolve to much further. We have a lot of kits coming out, plus you'll be able to create your own kits and just make it a seamless process of setting everything up inside of Ligna in a matter of minutes here, right? So if I wasn't talking, you would already be up and rolling and working on this. So appreciate everyone. Let me know what you think, and look forward to you using it.